Welcome back. It is Thursday, September 19th in the MLB. Our three best bets are on the way. It's Austin, joined by Logan. Let's recap yesterday. A 3-2 day. Let's talk about it. D-backs team total over 5.5. Told you we got to run back some losses, and that was sweet. Free. I mean, they cashed in the second inning. Of course, they would show up the day after. We needed them badly. We appreciate them for making back some money. Tanner Bybee didn't look great in the first inning, but then he dialed it in, and he soared over that outs pretty easily. To the Rangers and Blue Jays under first five was a whale. They didn't score a single run in the first five. We love that. Parlay of the day did not come through, and Yoshida did get a hit, but didn't get anything else from that. It wasn't a great start for the Red Sox offense, but a 3-2 day. Nothing much we can complain about there. We'll have some more picks. We got 3 of them in this video. We do not have a parlay of the day. We are going to save that. Normally when NFL has a primetime game like Mondays and Thursdays, we do a longer shot, same game parlay over there. So we'll post that later on our Twitters and whatnot down below. But you guys came here for some MLB picks. There's normally not a lot of you guys on Thursday, so hopefully that means it's a 3-0 sweep. Normally when Logan and I's videos don't get a ton of views MLB, we normally scrape off with some great winning days. And then you come into Friday when everyone tunes in, they're like, I missed a 3-0 sweep. Let's hope that's the case today. So appreciate you guys for tuning in. We got 3 picks. Let's dive in. We do already have some NFL videos live. We had a best bets video yesterday. Logan and I talked about all the games on Sunday's slate. And then we also had our Jets and Patriots game video posted last night. So if you want to go check out either of those, I'll link them down below in the description if you want to. But let's dive into our first pick. And I'm going to go to my first one. And it's going to be the Red Sox. Going back to them. I'm not going to back Yoshida today. In fact, I'm just backing their first 5. Team total over 1.5 at -120 on DraftKings. Now, for some people on FanDuel that do not have a first 5 line, I don't mind backing the Red Sox first 5 money line. However, there's just some pitchers that save their worst stuff for me. And Brian Bayo is one of them. And so I don't really want to back him. I believe he's pitching for the Red Sox today. So I'll just ask their bats to show up. I don't maybe hate the first 5 over, depending on what line you can get there. But I do think the Red Sox bats show up. Now, the Red Sox bats, if you've been backing them recently, they haven't been great. They have been pretty bad. Yesterday, we saw Pepio go absolutely just carve him up. He had an immaculate inning, 12 strikeouts. Hopefully, they come into here and at least keep the are swinging and can make contact with the ball, and I think they will. And they have a much easier matchup against Zach Littell. Littell starts for the Rays, 3.73 ERA and a 1.29 WHIP. If you look at Littell's last 2 starts, you'd be like, Austin, why the heck are we fading this guy? This guy's had 0 earned runs in his last 2 against the Guardians and the Orioles, both on the road. Now coming back to the Trop. On paper, sure, those starts looked great, but if you look harder into them, you'd see he kind of got a little bit lucky. We are seeing like 10 plus 95 or harder hit balls off the bat. He's just been getting lucky with those going right to defenders, right to outfielders. And sometimes, sure, you can skate by with that luck all season long. But for the guy like Littell, if you keep giving up that hard contact, hey, eventually those aren't going to defenders. Either they're going to fans in the bleachers, or they're going down the line for doubles, or heck, even triples for a team like the Red Sox with a lot of fast guys on their team. Have the Red Sox bats been hot lately? No, but they have seen Littell before, and they've hit him well. Both starts back in May, they hit him for 4 and 2 earned runs. You look at their hitters, Duran is 3 for 6 versus Littell. All 3 of his hits are extra base hits. Devers 2 for 5 with a home run in there. I mean, Littell is what he is. He's not a great strikeout guy. He's 28th percentile in whiff percentage, 33rd in K percentage. So not getting the strikeouts, which is typically the Red Sox kryptonite. Or in September, they have the 3rd highest K rate to righties. Well, Littell only has a 4.5 strikeout line. So when the Red Sox can put the ball in play, typically it's some hard contact, and we just have to hope they find the gaps. So I'm certainly confident they can. First, Littell, who's 11th percentile in ground ball percentage, 27th in barrel percentage. Like I said, he gives up some hard contact. The fact he has a 2.5 earned runs line, and it's like -125 on the over, it's a pretty good indicator. Hey, they might think some hard contact and some runs are coming on Littell. We don't need him to go over 2.5 earned runs. 2 runs, and he can get out of here is fine with us. Littell's under that earned runs line in 6 of his last 7 starts. Something feels off about his lines today. He has a 5.5 hits allowed line, something the Red Sox have not hit 6 hits against a single righty in their last 8 or 9 righties. I think the Red Sox bats show up tonight after absolutely having a terrible night last night. Still won that game. I think the bats are there, and I wouldn't be shocked if this cashes early in the 1st or 2nd inning. We see Duran get on, and maybe Devers hits a home run. Maybe Masataka Yoshida does something tonight in the first 5. I think there's a lot of different outcomes where we can get 2 runs off of Littell in the first 5. So that'll be my first pick of the day. But I'm throwing it to Logan for his favorite pick of the day, and I love it. Logan, where are you going?
Yeah, speaking of bad teams that have not shown up recently, I'm taking one in this instance. It's the Baltimore Orioles, -136 odds on the money line, and I'm taking it on FanDuel. Yeah, I'm taking a slightly juiced money line in this one, and the Orioles, I mean, if you've been betting them recently, they're costing you money. You might say, Logan, can't go back to the Orange Birds. They've just been terrible as of late. Yeah, I mean, they've lost a few to the Giants. This is the first game on the slate today. So if you want to tail this one, get your bets in. I like the Orioles to avoid the sweep at the hands of the Giants. I mean, this is a big momentum type game for the Orioles. You face Logan Webb, a step up in the pitching that you've seen recently. How are you going to respond? Let's talk about who starts for the Orioles today, though. It's Zach Eflin, 3.55 ERA and a 1.13 WHIP for Zach Eflin. I feel very comfortable backing Zach Eflin because he's been solid as of late. Hopefully this isn't the classic instance where these pitchers saved their worst start of the year for Austin and I, but look at his last 5 starts. 0, 1, 1, 3, and 1 earned runs. That's just like consistently great outings, and I can count on Eflin, for a solid 6 innings of work today, against this Giants team. That's been streaky at best. Eflin, since joining the Orioles, has been lights out. 2.22 ERA since joining Baltimore. And what I do like about Eflin, too, he's not always a huge strikeout-reliant pitcher. He can get the soft contact outs that way. But with runners in scoring position, he's been really solid this year. 228 batting average allowed with runners in scoring position. If you're a pitcher like that, even being more of a pitch-to-contact guy, you can still have success like that and go deep into these games. That's what Eflin's been showing for us most of the year. If we look at how San Francisco's done versus right-handed pitching last 14 days, they're about middle of the pack. They're about like 15th in most categories. So not necessarily the hardest matchup for Eflin. I think he comes in, gives us a solid 6 innings plus of work, and holds it down on his end. And then on the other side, it's Logan Webb starting for the Giants, 3.53 ERA and a 1.24 WHIP. Now, I'd be lying if I said this wasn't a line read pick, because it kind of is. Seeing Logan Webb as a sizable underdog when the Giants have looked like the much better team this series is a weird price. It's a weird price for sure. I thought when I was opening the sports book, I would see this game as a pick'em. I just would, because we've seen how Logan Webb is priced on getting line respect for a lot this year. He's a different pitcher on the road, though, which is why I think the price is what it is. But this Orioles team, like, I'd argue they don't command a minus 136-ish type price. They should be more in a pick'em. But I still think this is indicative of what the books expect. This is a wake-up call for the Orioles bats. Let's talk about Logan Webb, though. 3.53 ERA, 1.24 WHIP, as I mentioned. He allows hits. That's what we know. That's what we know about Logan Webb. Being a pitch-to-contact guy, he's allowing those hits there. And the Orioles are not getting hits. They cannot figure out some of these strikeout dominant pitchers. But the last 14 days, look at how bad Baltimore is. I just have to bring it up. 29th in batting average and OPS, 27th in WRC plus. The fall from grace is definitely there for these Orioles bats. Their lineup just is not clicking. So Logan, why are we betting them try to be a game ahead of their breakout? I just think if you look at the spot, Logan Webb is been bad on the road. Well, or I say bad, but like bad in his standards. 4.3 ERA on the road. And we know what one of his weaknesses is his lefties have had more success against him, hitting 265 against Logan Webb, lefties are. So we know there are going to be several left-handed bats in this Baltimore lineup. And we know with runners in scoring position, that's also where you can have success against Logan Webb. 279 batting average allowed with runners in scoring position. All of the stats are there for a potential Orioles breakout game. Logan Webb is a good pitcher. He makes good offenses look bad, but can he make a bad offense look good today? I actually think so. This is a sneaky spot for the Orioles bats to wake up a little bit. They're going to be able to put the ball in play against Logan Webb because it's what he does. He throws it over the. He's a sinker baller. He's going to put it over the plate. It's up to you to not ground out on it and to actually get some hard hit contact on it. Austin and I were talking this morning. His 17.5 outs line, that looks free, as did Scoobles yesterday. That looked kind of like a free juiced parlay piece. It wasn't. So I think we could see maybe Logan Webb get touched up a little bit in this one. And then we go to the bullpens. Last 14 days, San Francisco, 14th in bullpen ERA. Baltimore, 29th in bullpen ERA. Look, if the bullpens scare you, take Baltimore first 5. You know why I'm not? Because I feel like a lot of my losses this year is getting cute in the first 5, getting scared off the bullpen, and then the bullpen's just fine. I'm not going to try to get cute in this one. This game's priced full game for a reason. I've seen San Francisco's bullpen implode several times, so I don't necessarily consider them an elite unit. Give me the Orange Birds on the money line. I think they get back on track today. But Austin, you got another one. Where are you going?
Hey, I love the Orioles as well. I think they come through for us. Also, not in that bullpen anymore. Craig Kimbrell, we got DFA'd. So that is a blessing in disguise. But Final pick of the day, third one. It's going to be a pitcher prop, and I can imagine most of you guys won't like this one. Brandon Pfaadt of the Arizona Diamondbacks over 16.5 outs, -105 on DraftKings. Now, if you've been backing Pfaadt, you've been cooked. I don't know why you'd be backing him right now, but I think this is a spot for him that he pitches pretty well in, and let's talk about why. Pfaadt is coming off his worst start of the year. 1 2/3, 8 earned runs versus the Brewers. We remember that start because we faded him. We took the full game over in that one at 8.5, and it soared over. The Brewers absolutely tattooed him. Well, who did you pitch against today? The same Milwaukee Brewers, and I think he's coming in for a revenge start. You can't pitch worse than he did on his last outing. In September, the Brewers have not been great against righties. They have the 5th lowest batting average and the 10th lowest WRC+. And if they didn't have that start against Brandon Pfaadt, they'd probably be even lower. But obviously, he helped pad their stats a little bit. And I think he pitches here a lot better, and I think the books do as well. You look at the Brewers, if you're just looking at a motivation standpoint, they just won the division last night. Technically, they won it in the afternoon, won against the Phillies, and then he celebrated in the locker in the clubhouse. So great for them. Good to see it. Brewers, not a lot of people expected them to do big things this year, trading away their best pitcher, Corbin Burnes, and they've obviously won the division. Props to them. But will they trot out their number one lineup today? I don't know. Probably not. They've just won the division. Maybe get your guys a day off. But we've seen in Pfaadt's last 9 starts, he's been bad. He owns a 7.58 ERA. However, even owning a near 8 ERA, he's still over this line in 4 of 9 starts. And that includes a lot of starts where he's getting just pieced up left and right. But what happens if he pitches well? I think he easily goes 6. He could even go into the 7th inning. He's not a guy that's typically inefficient with his pitches, and we'll talk about that. But you look at his other props. His hits allowed props in at 5.5, plus 130 on the over. Looking at that line, number one, he just gave up 7 to the Brewers in less than 2 innings. Number 2, he's given up 6+ hits in 8 of his last 9 starts. Are they handing out free plus money? And good plus money, plus 120, plus 130 on the over? I don't think so. I think he pitches well here today. And this season, when he's gone under 5.5 hits allowed, he's over this outs line in 11 of 13 such games, pitching really well. You also look at him, he has a 5.5 strikeout line. He didn't even get a single strikeout against the Brewers in his last outing. Now you're sitting at 5.5 K line. Sure, juiced on the under. He's not a big K guy. Just saying, maybe we see the bad Brewers lineup coming. Also, like I said, normally efficient with his outings, 87th percentile walk percentage. Typically not walking a ton of guys. Maybe he walks 2 guys, but it's the starts where you walk 3, 4, 5 that you're like, all right, well, we're not getting to the outs prop because you're giving up free base runners and wasting those pitches. I think he pitched well here today. Could I look like an idiot? Sure. Could happen. Brandon Pfaadt hasn't been good. But I think there's a lot of different underlying metrics that maybe he comes out here and pitches well. Also coming off a terrible start against the same team. It's a good get-right spot for him on the road here. I think he pitches well enough to get us through 6 innings. We don't need 6. We need 5 2/3, but I think he does go 6 here. So give me Brandon Pfaadt as our final play of the day, over 16.5 outs. Recap of other picks: Red Sox first 5 team total, over 1.5, and Orioles on the money line, an early start at 105 Eastern. So those are our 3 picks. Let's try to go 3-0. Let's have a good day. A reminder, if you want to go check out 2 NFL videos, you certainly can. The top one will be our NFL best bets, where Logan and I talk through every single Sunday game, as well as the Monday games. Number 2 will be our Jets and Patriots, a game with our best bets there. And also number 3 will be our ladder. We're doing day 3 of the ladder, trying to cash that and go to day 4, which will be pretty cool. Let's have a great day, and we'll see you guys back again in the next one on Friday. See you then. Peace.